Nice. What's going on, guys? We're back with the GT500. You guys saw in the last video we had some sort of issue. We only made 2 passes and something's going wrong with slave cylinder, clutch, or whatever. Like clutch, slave cylinder exploded, something exploded. We're gonna get it pulled apart, but I will say last night was not a complete failure. We got to shake down the car, we got to find the issues. We're trying to run an event next week, so I am very happy to have an issue now rather than next week at an event after we go all the way down to Bradenton and everything else. So trying to figure out these issues beforehand is important. But also the first pass, which was a really soft 60 foot, it was a 1.6. I lifted before the 8th and the car rolled to a 6.5 at 98 miles an hour. If you guys don't know 8th mile times, if that were ran out, well, typically to run like a 6.5 or so in the 8th with that kind of 60 foot, you'd have to be at like a 108-ish mile an hour. I'll have a slip that I can show you guys to compare. So we were lifted before the 8th and we went a 6.5. A 6.5 ran out would be a very low, like 10.0 or high 9-second pass if it were ran out. So we're already on track on low boost to basically go in the 9s with a stick shift. So I think that's a really good place to start. I think we got a lot of stuff to do and obviously figure out what issues we got. But yeah, let's dive into it. I'll show you guys what we find. And there's a possibility maybe the sleeve cylinder or something went out. It may have taken the clutch out with it. So we're definitely gonna get dived into it and try to figure out a solution, because today is Thursday and the event is next week. So we have exactly less than a week to figure out something to throw in it. You right, Brad?
I'd be lying if I didn't say that this isn't what I wanted to be doing. Like, the car really went together fairly easy. There's been a couple little headache things here and there. The exhaust manifold not being the correct one, that kind of put a damper on stuff, but everything else in the car went together super easy. And this is not what you're expecting first time out on the track on the car that so far has just been amazing. So it's a little disappointing, but
I'd rather it happen at Orlando on
that's exactly what
I paid $30-something and some fuel and some diesel costs to go there, rather than all the way down to Bradenton.
It's much better than getting out the streetcar takeover and first pass down the track and
yeah, because I wouldn't be able to fix this at the track. It's just not worth it. You can actually see we put some more brake fluid in the clutch to try to see where it's leaking from, and it's definitely leaking internally. More than likely the clutch does have some sort of damage, so we're gonna have to get this apart, pull it apart, take a look at it, and just figure out a plan for next week. Hey guys, I am interrupting the video real quick. I want to show you one vehicle you guys have seen in the background and been asking me about, and we are doing a quick little raffle on it. Let's show the vehicle. So our 2014 F-150 twin turbo, built illuminator motor, 39,000 miles, cage, built 6R80, makes anywhere from 600 to 1,000 horsepower depending on where you crank that boost controller. We are giving this away with a raffle, 300 spots, $100 a spot. It is just about halfway full. Go over to the link in the description, Facebook, go check it out. I wanted to throw it up on YouTube. If you guys want to get entered, go pick a number,
check out on the website, message me if you have any questions. Pick a number, feeling lucky, 300 spots total, that's it, no more than 300, a random number between 1 and 300. You take home this 1,000 horsepower F-150, $400. So go check it out, get entered, and enjoy the rest of the video.
All right, guys, so this car is actually this is why race cars are awesome. Probably
turbo race cars are awesome.
Yeah, turbo race cars, probably less than an hour, and we're also working on other things too, but trans is out. Definitely looks like the slave failed. We're gonna get this pulled apart. We're already talking with Parker at Vengeance, trying to figure out our next options so we can race the car next week. Something is off. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it and get a solution here. But you can see this stuff all has about 300 miles on it. There's quite a bit of city miles because I was doing the break-in on the clutch. Typically 500 at least miles would have been better, but you can only do what we can do. You can see the fluid actually dripping at the bottom there. So the slave has definitely failed. So we already got a new one of those on the way. This is a Ford OEM unit. As far as I know, this is the correct one that we're supposed to be using for this, which is the same as the 11 to 14 MT82. We're pulling off the SFI bell. There's a chance that the clutch may not be burnt, but it could be fully saturated in fluid, especially if this unit here was either defective or slowly failing and slowly leaking some fluid out from that front area there. So it's unfortunate, but stuff happens, so just gotta work through it. Okay, so bell housing's off. It's definitely saturated with fluid all around here. It's not terrible, not great, but I mean, could be worse. Could have a blown transmission. And you can see all the fluid buildup. I mean, this is only 300 miles, so that thing exploded, and yeah, so.
All right, so we threw the new slave cylinder in and threw our backup clutch in and got it ready to go to the dyno finally. So we got some street tires on the back. I don't really know what went wrong. I'm assuming the slave cylinder went out. You can see the slave cylinder definitely failed. My guess is it may have actually been an issue all along because when I was driving it on the street, it would actually, when I would do some minor pulls, I actually got a little bit of fluid that would actually touch my legs from the very small holes that are in the trans tunnel or firewall.
I think I just got sprayed with fuel. Yeah, let's definitely check that before we go any further.
So this fluid was cold, and so it wasn't oil, it wasn't water, and now I'm coming to think that maybe this slave cylinder was leaking all along and eventually just took out basically everything. So we got the backup clutch in there. We will be tweaking that in the future, and then we got a brand new slave, so we're gonna go test it over on the dyno at Boost King Tuning. We'll be doing some tuning on it with the Holley Terminator X Max and see if we can make 1,000 horsepower.
What is going on, guys? We are back with the black GT500, well, the 07 GT500, because we got two of those now. Single Turbo Coyote, if you guys are new here. It's got a Holley Terminator X. We're gonna be tuning it today, but we're gonna be going up in boost levels, making some tweaks, but we're just warming it up now. We're over at Boost King Tuning. He's got a dyno here, local to the Volusia County area, if you guys want to get in on a dyno. But this is my purpose-built stick shift race car, and this is the first time it's going to be on the dyno. We recently had some issues with the track, and I think a slave cylinder failure possibly took out the clutch. We got another clutch thrown in here, and here's the shakedown. So we're going to see what it's going to do. We're going to try to do a pull on gate here and see what it looks like. I don't know what's gonna make, but I don't know if we're gonna hit four digits today. We'll try to target somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 pounds later on, and see what that makes for power.
Alright, so first run, 621 wheel horsepower. We are only revving to 7400. Rev limiter is at 75. The car has 315 gears, so we didn't want to go like 190 miles an hour on the dyno. So every single run you see here is to 7400 RPM. I also didn't talk quite as much as I wanted to on video, but I was really focused on tuning and making sure everything was good, so there weren't any issues, and I'll do some voiceovers, kind of fill you guys in with some info. Brett and I also had some issues with the tax signal would drop out. We tried changing it many times. Wasn't too concerned about it. So if you see that little dip there, that's not because the car is breaking up. That's because it's losing the RPM tax signal, and it uses that to compare against horsepower to get you a torque reading. Torque reading is still accurate, but it just has those little dip outs, and you'll see that in many of the graphs here.
All right, we're gonna double the boost. 12 pounds of dome pressure. Let's see how it goes. So far so good, no major problems, but we are having some gnarly boost spike on the hit, and then the CO2 boost controller is taking over, you know, once it builds, but it's kind of hitting like 18 pounds on the hit, and we're trying not to kill this engine. So taking a look, see if there's something wrong with the boost controller setting, so to try to get it to pull that boost down faster, because we only hit 13 pounds, but something's a little funky on it. So we got it pretty much figured out. This is 13 pounds of boost. Well, 13, 14 pounds of boost. You hit 830, 775. There's a peak of 15, but that's right here. So it's still boost spiking a little bit. So I got to play with the boost controller settings more. But I'm gonna go ahead and target somewhere in the neighborhood of 17, 18, and see where she wants to party. So far so good. Okay, so we're getting pretty spicy with boost. The timing's still pretty conservative, but yeah, we'll see where this goes.
She's pretty spicy, bud. Hey, this is like the first serious car I've done.
Yeah, that's making a lot of power.
You want here? Can you bring the screen over? I didn't even show it on camera yet, and I'm pretty positive it's got like no timing in it. This turbo's badass.
It just like all of a sudden you just hear it like rage. It's like,
oh man,
it's like when
I'm not really like taking in sounds because like I'm in like okay watch data mode.
Oh yeah.
So, but like.
Well, and out here it's a different thing. Like you hear the exhaust at a certain tone, and when the turbo takes over, you just hear monsters. It's just ready to go.
All right,
and really
so
it's got more, but I don't know where the motor has more. So
yeah, I'm just gonna put some timing in it, see what it does.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're still having tack issues. I would say it's probably a Holly thing because it's doing a different tack than normal.
I don't really know. It's done this on a couple different cars and tried to go tack pickups, but sometimes it's clean, sometimes it's not.
958. I got the final tune in it. It's got a little bit more timing in it. And we're gonna call it there. That's about as much boost as I want to run. It's 18, 19 pounds. Yeah.
I think it'll make 1,000 this time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it does.
1,000.
So, I just put the tune in it, the spice. We'll see what happens. Here goes the spice. Car 991.
I gotta just take the smoothing off of it. You got it now. It says it's a Navy, not today. If I put it to STD, like your mama, you're at 1,021. But with SAE, you're
I don't think we should chase the number. I don't
think it's worth it, man. I mean,
it's there.
It's good.
That's it. I mean, it's tuned, it's dialed. We know that timing picks up a lot of power.
Easily 4 degrees was 80, 90 horsepower.
How much boost was that? 18, 19?
Peaked at 19.2.
Holy dude. Spicy. Let's look at the log.
Hey, if I take the smoothing out, you're at 1,020.
On SAE? Holy shit, bro.
But I heard that thing rip. Yeah, we still have that mid RPM drop on the tack.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've got 3 different inductives, and those are 2 of them, and they do it anyways. Anyways, it's good. I think it's good. You want me on strap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we made 1,000. On SAE correction, it's 991.
I mean, I'm calling it 1,000. Call me a racer. Put on standard correction. I mean, we flew past 1,000. I wasn't even really trying to make 1,000. I mean, I did say I have no problem making 1,000, right? When I walked in here.
You did.
But I wasn't really trying to. We just got super close once we added timing into it.
It just ate it up.
Yeah, it loves the
10
timing.
was 50 horsepower every time, 40 horsepower. So.
Yeah, that's these.
It's not like knowing when to quit.
Yeah, I mean these 3 runs right here. These are all the same boost. 9. We're on standard correction, but 956 was like 17.5 degrees. This was like 19-ish degrees, and then that's 20.5. Ignore the graphs, they're not perfect because of the tack signal, but
Yeah, the tack cuts out almost the same spot every single time. Not really sure why.
dude, that's sick.
That's crazy. And this car, what's it weigh? Like 33, 34?
My guess is gonna be about 3,000 with me in it.
Yeah. Oh wow. This
Yeah.
thing's gonna move.
Yeah. A little intimidating, but also I can creep up on it. I mean, I can target a much lower boost, you know, to start out, and then slowly as we, you know, make some quarter-mile rips,
Yeah,
I can
I mean,
just
you've got,
add in a little bit more.
We've got like 4 or 5 different maps now. Now we've got the boost set up. You know how to use that.
Yeah.
I mean,
The dyno run in the car is super smooth.
Yeah.
Like, the only way I knew it was making more power is it just went by really fast.
yeah. When you showed up and it made 670 or something like that.
It was such a long
It was
pull.
Such a long pull. And then when we got to it, it's like these pulls they're just over.
Yeah.
And it's just insane what that does. It's wild. When that turbo comes on, I mean,
That's the Garrett, and this is just the 76. That's just a little 76.
just a little 76.
I think Garrett knows how to make a turbo. I mean,
Yeah, that's a bad unit right there.
oh yeah. So
Well, good luck at Streetcar Takeover, man. You're gonna have some
yeah,
fun
I'm
with
gonna turn her down a little bit, you know.
it. Yeah.
But just knowing that that's my cutoff. That's where, you know, any more than that, I think you're kind of asking for.
Dude, it's a Coyote with stock bottom end.
Yeah, stock bottom on.
Making 1,000 just like nothing. Look at all the torque.
Yeah.
Torque is out of this world. What was the highest torque? 928 torque.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's gnarly.
Ridiculous. 5 liters. 928 torque.
Yeah.
And I know there's more out there. Whatever. Cool. But it's just fun to see it. You
Yeah.
know?
So if anyone has a built short block ready to and then we'll make 1,600.
You might need that.
The fuel system's good for it. I gotta up the injectors, but you know,
Injectors and a short block, and you're ready to double this.
and a clutch.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, but we're already working on that. We got the temporary in here. But if you like this video, give it a big like, comment down below. This car is sick. I mean, you guys have seen it from, you know, a roller that collected dust in the shop to just about ready to race. And if you guys want to check out Boost King Tuning, Brett, you can get your car dynoed, you can get your car tuned, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll leave the contact info down below. Yeah. Or if you want to take a tuning school class and learn from this guy, because
I'm there too.
I learned a lot. So, and I mean, you helped me a little bit on some, you know, the boost controller, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Holly's not my thing, but
Holly's not my thing.
thing.
If we're being completely honest, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't do it all the time, so I'm not as familiar. But I'm like, I'll poke around and we'll try some things, and we found a little better way to control the boost, and
It was kind of like,
that's where we got.
do you think I should add timing? He's like, yeah, we should add timing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll add timing.
It doesn't hurt that it's not my car. You know? But no, I know when to quit.
I think that's a good
Yeah,
place.
I mean,
That's a
I
good
think
place
it
to
probably
quit.
would have taken another 2 or 3 on the fuel he has and this setup, but
We're not
why?
trying to toss
But
the
why?
rods out,
Yeah.
so
You know.
hit that like button, comment down below. We'll see you in the next one.